Tonight, the man accused of strangling a Department of Child Safety worker has been indicted by a grand jury. He faces multiple charges, including attempted murder, after live streaming his attack. Thanks for joining us tonight for 12 News at 6. I'm Mark Curtis.
I'm Rachel Cole in for Caribe. Tonight, 12 News is taking a closer look at whether cuts to security across all DCS buildings played a role in this particular incident. 12 News journalist Sean Rice speaking with both sides of the aisle. Sean, what can you tell us tonight?
Yeah, Mark and Rachel, this year, the Arizona Department of Child Safety's budget was cut by some 3 to 4% in the last legislative session. It's prompted Deputy Director David Lujan to say they had to make tough decisions on limiting a large portion of their security across many of their buildings. But Arizona Senate Republicans tell me budget cuts have not hurt worker safety one bit. Instead, they say, quote, poor leadership is to blame. In the wake of a brutal assault on one of their own,
we are taking seriously the concerns that have been raised about employee safety.
DCS Deputy Director David Lujan has vowed changes are on the way.
We would also encourage field staff to go out in pairs when you're concerned about your safety.
The department previously had a policy on overtime that required executive leadership approval for a caseworker to work more than 20 hours of overtime. But that directive is no more.
We have heard that previous restrictions on overtime may have been discouraging this practice. So those overtime restrictions are now being lifted for field staff.
There's no saying if additional people present would have prevented this attack on a caseworker in Mesa, but we do know DCS has cut ties with their security providers since their budget was slashed in the last legislative session.
My Republican colleagues have cut the budget and cut the budget and cut the budget, and the result is we don't have enough security for people who need it.
Democratic Senator Mitzi Epstein says she encourages Senate Republicans who have the majority to take a closer look at expanding their funding. She says this would allow them to better protect their workers.
This is the face of children. This is the face of social workers. This is the face of families. And we've cut their security so that they don't have enough to provide security for social workers.
Former DCS Director Matthew Stewart says the first step is to acknowledge a problem.
It takes a strong leader and to be bold and to have the courage to address, admit if there were mistakes made.
And to sit down with each caseworker to ask the question, how are you feeling?
I hope that the leadership has an ear to hearing what the people on the ground are seeing, what they need, and how they can partner with the community to make sure that children and families are supported and really can thrive.
And the caseworker involved in that assault thankfully is recovering tonight. This incident is expected to be a major topic of conversation in our next legislative session and is, of course, one we will continue to follow. Sean Rice, 12 News.